Hello, my name is Dan Fitek, and this is my final project for the Bentley UX certificate class called Prototyping the User Experience. Now, I started out by sketching some ideas and eventually got to creating a prototype user interface of this Flix Finder application, um, which is about finding movies in movie theaters. And I used Axure Rapid Prototyping software to create a prototype of the application. Now, the prototype was of medium visual fidelity but relatively high interaction fidelity, at least for the three cases that I focused on. The first thing I want to demonstrate here is the navigation. So if you want to go to theaters, you click on theaters and the screen scrolls over and you see the content over here, and you can click different this is the navigation here, and you can go back to the home screen as well. So this is something, I've seen sort of a trend going on with mobile user interfaces. Twitter and Facebook have something like this, and I took a cue from that in the creation of this interface. Now, the users of this application could be just about anyone, including people like my wife and me. So that made designing it a little bit easier. Didn't have to do too much research to find out about what the users were like and who and their motivations, since I was basically able to design for myself. Um, and social was not something I focused on for this prototype, but it is planned to be a big part of the application. As you can see, there's a whole item for friends, and this, because it's a big part of movies. You want to see the movies your friends liked, and you want to go to the movies with your friends. So the use cases I went through and prototyped was first finding the nearest theater to your house, and you click theaters, and you can actually click anywhere on this button. Highlights the theaters icon, and you see here the list of theaters, starting with the closest one at the top. And so that's really simple use case in this application, because it shows you right away the closest theaters. Now, the next use case would be seeing what time the movie The Dictator is showing at the closest theater to you. So in this case, that's this AMC Tingsboro. And then you see a list of movies that are playing there, and The Dictator's here. If I click on The Dictator or touch The Dictator, now I see some information about the movie, including movie times, and then that task has really been completed at this point as well, because I can see what times the movie's playing today. The third use case that I prototyped was buying 2 movie tickets to The Dictator at the next showing. In this scenario, it would be I can get to the movie theater not until 8, so I want to buy 2 tickets to the next showing after 8 o'clock. So I would simply click the buy tickets at this point, and in this in the usability test I did, this time was originally set for 7 o'clock, and you can go ahead and change the time by clicking on it, and it brings up a set of times. You can choose the 8:45 time, and it would update the time accordingly. And once you have the time and everything matches up to what you're interested in purchasing, you go ahead and confirm the purchase, and you have your information that you can bring to the movie theater to redeem your ticket. So those are the 3 use cases that we went through, and I usability tested this with my wife and got some really good feedback. I discovered some usability issues, and went ahead and was able to fix some of those. Now, one thing I thought was interesting was that even though I explained that this was the visual design wasn't exactly the focus of this. She did think black and white actually thought was interesting and potentially might be something that works, but obviously wasn't really the goal. It was just to focus on the interaction here and not focus so much on the visual design. So I have here the new and improved prototype after getting the feedback from the usability test. And it turned out, actually I'll go right back to the old one just to demonstrate. So one thing I found interesting, she didn't really pick up on my navigational scheme here. She sort of actually thought that this was sort of something that wasn't working quite right, and it wasn't scrolling all the way over as it should. So that was one big piece of feedback I took. The other thing was, these little arrows that indicate that you can select this item and choose additional options. They seem pretty small and difficult, especially if you were using your finger. It'd be difficult to hit. And so, the idea, obviously those should be made bigger. So here's the new and improved user interface. And you can see here, one thing I did was to make, I think this is a work in progress. I think there's still a lot of improvements to be made, but these icons here actually were made into buttons. I think they look a bit more clickable, a bit more like they are meant to be there as part of the navigation. And as we can see here, as we can see here, the arrows have been made much larger, twice as large, and much easier to click and choose your desired option. So those were some nice, good feedback I got from the usability tests, and the great thing about prototyping is I was able to make those changes very quickly and improve the design. And there's a lot more to improve, some more use cases to build out, but but it's moving in the right direction. So thank you, and have a nice day.